I would say that something like this, gossip, it's this very base kind of pleasure. It's very savage, unseemly, where you're taking pleasure in ripping someone else apart. I wanted to mention this. Fox 2 in Detroit has this report. A new app called T, where women can only post photos of men they're dating to get input from other women, is causing controversy. The app was born out of some women's rough dating experiences, and it's called T as in spill the tea or gossip. It's gaining popularity on TikTok, especially among Gen Z. There's a waiting list to join due to its popularity. One user, Emily, is anonymous on the app and admits she's embarrassed, saying she's a frequent user. Users can post photos of who they're dating to gauge other women's experiences with them, identifying so-called red and green flags. The reviews are rarely positive. She said, quote, if you get past the waiting list, you have to submit a pic of your face with an ID to prove you're a girl because no guys are allowed on the app. The guys that are green flags, I was trying to look them up on social media and oh, this is a good guy. So both ends of the spectrum are dictating my dating life right now. Emily says the T app seems to be particularly popular in Middle Eastern communities, especially in Dearborn. All these guys are talking too. They're getting nervous. They're making TikToks about it, she said. Okay. So there's a lot of discussion about this on social media, especially on TikTok, as the article mentions. That's the app. It's got a lot of attention, a lot of videos on TikTok, many of them from men complaining about the fact that they've ended up on the app. Often they're being lied about, they say, and defamed. And I'm not going to play any of those videos here, but I watched a few of them. And you can go to TikTok and find the men who've had experiences who have found themselves on this app. And the only way that they can know that they're on it, I guess, is for a woman to tell them, because they can't even access the app. They can't access it. They can't defend themselves. They're not allowed on it to defend themselves or kind of give their side of the story or anything like that. So that's what the app is. The app is basically just women gossiping about men and usually tearing them apart and mocking them, insulting their appearance. I looked at some of these TikTok videos. That's what a lot of the comments, just women, a woman's dating a guy, posts his picture, says, hey, anyone know anything about this guy? And then you get a whole bunch of comments from women making fun of him, saying he looks like a creep, calling him ugly. I mean, it's really ugly stuff itself. And that's the whole thing. And this app exists supposedly to fill a need. And the need is that women have to warn each other about the quote unquote bad men who are out there. So let me say a few things about this. And first of all, this whole thing is terrible, obviously. It shouldn't be legal. Providing a forum specifically for people to just post whatever defamatory claims they want about other private individuals who themselves have no opportunity to speak up for themselves, complete with their names and their pictures and identifying information, that should not be legal. Now, sure, on any social media site, people can post defamatory stuff. It happens all the time. But the difference here is that this is an app specifically designed for that. It's designed to talk about other private individuals who, again, are barred from being able to say anything in their defense. From Congress to your children's schools, there is a cultural war raging across America. For the moms watching, I don't have to tell you this, you're living it right now. I want to make you aware of Concerned Women for America, the nation's largest public policy Christian women's organization. For 45 years, they've been leading the charge as your voice in all levels of public policy. CWA trains women to become grassroots leaders, speak into the culture, pray, testify, and lobby. From their Young Women for America collegiate chapters to moms, professionals, mature women, the most influential women's organization in our nation, the issues they confront are not going away. And this is your chance to step in, to speak up, shape what your daughters will inherit. CWA is here for that moment, and they help women like you turn conviction into clarity and clarity into action. I'm asking you to support their efforts today for a donation of $20 or more. You'll get a copy of their new book written by the CEO and president, Penny Nance, A Woman's Guide, 7 Rules for Success in Business and Life. This book is an incredible gift for any young woman graduating or beginning her professional journey. Go to concernedwomen.org/Walsh for your copy today. Again, that's concernedwomen.org/Walsh. So this should not be legal. I don't know how, I don't think it is, even by the current laws. And hopefully the men targeted by the app file lawsuits and sue everybody involved into bankruptcy. Sue the makers of the app and all these women participating. I want to just sue them all so that they're all bankrupt for life. That's what should happen. Because if you're a woman, I mean, shouldn't need to be said, but apparently it does for these women who are using it. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. This is bad. You know, if you're on some app and you're just tearing apart men, for your own pleasure, then you're a bad person. Like, you're a bad, awful person. Gossiping is wrong. It is vile. It's disgusting. And women are the ones who do most of the gossiping. There's a reason this kind of app exists for women and not for men. A male gossip app like this couldn't exist. It'd be condemned by everybody, first of all. I mean, you wouldn't be able to, like, it literally couldn't exist. They wouldn't allow it in the App Store. If there was if someone comes along with the T for men, you won't even be able to put it in the App Store. They won't allow it. It'd be condemned even by the women who use this app, especially by them, actually. But also, men aren't interested in gossiping enough to keep an app like that going. This can only happen with women. Now, men can gossip also, but this is a sin that women are more inclined towards. It's kind of like porn, actually. Like, porn is a sin that men and women can commit. Some women do watch porn, but it's definitely something that appeals to men much more. It's a weakness that men are more likely to have. Men are much more visual, all these things. So that's why men will tend to struggle with that more than women will. And gossip is the same thing the other way. Gossip is basically female porn. It scratches the same kind of itch. Which is why sometimes, and look, you know how I feel about the porn industry, about pornography in general. I think that it should be banned outright. All pornographers should be in prison for life. Like, that's what I think. So anyone who condemns pornography, I agree. But, and this is a point that you hear men make a lot, which is true, that sometimes you'll have women who condemn porn and it's sort of easy for them to do, but they're not looking at the things. It's like for most women, it's easy to, most women are not going to fall into porn and porn addiction. And it's easy for a woman to not fall into that because you're just wired differently. But there are things that are the female version of that, that we don't talk about as much. And I would say that something like this, gossip, it's this very base kind of pleasure. It's very savage, unseemly, where you're taking pleasure in ripping someone else apart. So you shouldn't be doing it. And also, if you feel like you need to be on an app like this, then you are the problem. I mean, if you find yourself constantly ending up with guys who are quote unquote red flags, so much that you need an app to weed them out, then you're the problem. Because that tells me, so when you hear from these women who say, oh, every guy I end up with is a weird creep. Every guy I end up with this is why I need the T app, so I can finally steer clear of those kinds of guys. Well, if that's the case, that every guy you end up with is a weirdo creep, and that's why you need an app like this, that tells me that either you are yourself a weirdo creep, and that's why you attract those kinds of people, or the second option is that you constantly describe normal, nice guys as weirdo creeps because that's how you inevitably see everyone the moment they do something that displeases you. There's one of those two options. If you're a woman constantly ending up with weirdo creeps and these kinds of guys, red flags, then that's it. You're the problem. Either you are a red flag yourself, so you attract those kinds of people, or again, you have a tendency of labeling people like that just because they do something you don't like, or they have an opinion you don't like, or whatever. So, I would look at yourself on that. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.